friends, good morning and welcome to Simple Gifts Farmstead. I have an idea for you that I would like to share, and it involves chickens and sourdough bread. And so if you are a maker of sourdough and you have chickens, then this tip is for you. So I've just fed my sourdough, and you guys will have to look into what that involves. But this is the sourdough starter that was given to me by a close friend. Her name's Janelle. And so I've just fed the sourdough. I've added equal ratio of starter, of flour, and of water. And I'm waiting for that to develop there for just a bit. So one of the things that comes along with sourdough that I did not know in the beginning or did not understand was that you don't use the entire starter to feed. You only feed as much as you're going to use today, and then you either save some back or you save some of your starter and reuse that. You can put this in the refrigerator, you can keep it out on your counter, but almost always there's going to be more starter than you can use, unless you have a very large family, which my friend Janelle does. She has 10 children. We can't eat enough sourdough bread to use up all of the starter that I have. So either you can get super creative and bake cookies with it, or pancakes, brownies. You can find recipes for just about everything. And take notice that I keep paper on the top of mine because it needs to breathe. It is a living organism. So as far as the discard for the sourdough, I had an idea that I think is a good idea, and that is to make chicken crackers. And the Bible says in the book of Proverbs that a righteous man cares for his animals. And I do care about my animals. And why sourdough? People just hear that word, and if they haven't had sourdough, they think sourdough. Why would anyone like sourdough? It's a fermenting process that is actually good for the gut, and it's also good for the chickens. So I use apple cider vinegar also in the chicken's water, just a little tiny bit, because it keeps good gut health. Drinking apple cider vinegar ourselves in little bits is good for our gut. And so what I feed my chickens, ultimately, I feed myself, because you eat what your animals eat. So I do pay attention to what kind of food I give them. And so as far as having a way more sourdough starter than I can use, when I have fed as much as I want to keep and use, the rest is considered discard. Now, I'm not going to discard all of my starter, because I don't want to have ever a time where I've accidentally killed it. And I think it's pretty hard to kill, to be honest. But I'm going to take a large portion of it and I'm going to leave a little. And so this is just basic parchment. And I'm going to spread the sourdough out on the parchment so that it's kind of thin, which just simply means it's going to take a short time to bake, and it's going to be crispy enough for me to be able to break up into pieces. So after I spread it out, and it doesn't have to be fancy in any way because my chickens don't mind. So I'm going to pop that in the oven on 375. There's nothing magic about that amount. And when it's finished, I'll let you know how it looks. So it looks like my chicken crackers are done there, and as you can see, it's a nice thin layer and crisped up beautifully. And so I was telling you guys that there's a verse in Proverbs, it's chapter 12, verse 10, and it's a righteous man has regard for the life of his animal. And I do have regard for the life of my animals. And I'll tell you, I had no idea how much I would enjoy the chickens. If you watch chickens, you just have no idea what you can learn from them. the pleasure that it brings. And honestly, I consider this another one of those simple gifts from God directly to me, but I think it could be direct to you too. And so as far as keeping chickens, I don't know whether you guys have ever even let that cross your mind, but if you have ever had a cat, keeping chickens is almost exactly the same amount of effort as it is to take care of a cat. So just let that one sink in. What does your cat give you? And I love my little kitten cuddles, but my chickens give me eggs every day. They take a couple of days off in the winter, but for the most part, the chickens give me simple gifts every single day. So there's another verse that I want to share with you, and it's Proverbs 27, verse 23, and it says, "Know well the condition of your flocks, and pay attention to your herds." So I have a herd of chickens, or a flock of chickens. I have about 20, and so I could probably be doing this little chicken snack on a regular basis. And so I'm just going to take this and break it into small enough pieces. So I could just put this out in the yard in a big piece, and you guys might get a real chuckle over that, because my chickens are sneaky and they'll grab a piece and they'll run, because I believe they play like kindergartners, maybe like toddlers, because they don't like to share. So after I get this crunched up a bit, then I'm gonna take you guys out into the yard with me, and you can see how much the chickens enjoy a snack. And remember, it's something that's good for them, good for their gut health, good for my gut health. So sourdough, snacks, chicken love, all good. So when I finish this, you can come along. Okay, so I think I have it ready to go. If you guys are enjoying any of the videos that we've been sharing, I would ask you to like it. You can share it if you'd like. You can subscribe, and that way you get notified of when the next videos are coming out. I hopefully have a few more ideas that might be helpful to your life, or maybe I just entertain you in watching the things that happen at Simple Gifts Farmstead. So come along with me. So if I know my girls, you guys are going to get a treat in watching how much they enjoy the snacks that I bring them, which is why I get so much enjoyment from them. So come along. Some gifts that they're going to give me. Oh, we've got someone on the nest. Oh, we've got two girls on the nest. They're not ready to give their gifts yet today. Ooh, she's going to peck me. Are you done? She wasn't done yet. Okay, we're going to leave them alone and come back.